Hello, hello. Happy Monday to everyone. Oh man, y'all, I think this Virginia cold weather has my voice all kind of jacked up. But how's everyone doing this Monday afternoon? And yes, y'all, I am a little late. I am a little late for my coffee chat session today, but that's all right. I'm here. That's all that matters. All right, so I am making sure, yeah, I am here live. I'm going to share this out to the rest of my network. And all right, got that done. So let's dive right on in. So I am Sybil, aka MomJonz. I am the lovely lady behind Mamas and Coffee. You can find me at mamasandcoffee.com. And as you see, today I wanted to talk about my first Stroke Talks virtual hangout. Yes, y'all. I had a fabulous time. So you might be thinking, what is Stroke Talks? Stroke Talks is a community that I created under my Mamas and Coffee brand. Yes, and Stroke Talks is all about stroke, right? Stroke. Why Stroke Talks? Because I am a stroke survivor. I get it. People tell me all the time, Sybil, you don't look like you've had a stroke. You don't sound like you've had a stroke. But I did. I had a stroke on April 17th, 2021, right here in Northern Virginia. Yes, my stroke happened here in Northern Virginia, actually at my husband's farewell party is where it happened. We were preparing to PCS to San Diego, California. And yes, I said PCS, farewell party. I am also a military spouse. Yes, so I'm Sybil, a wife, a mom, and wife to a sailor and a stroke survivor. That's who I am in a nutshell. But anywho, and I am random, y'all. Okay, so y'all got to keep up. You just got to keep up with what I'm talking about. But anyway, so I had my first Stroke Talks virtual event today. It's something that I've wanted to do for a while, but I will be honest with you. I was a bit afraid to do it because of fear. I was fearing, I don't know what I was afraid of. I was being silly, I guess. I don't know. But fear has become this newfound friend in my life since my stroke. But I am overcoming all of my fears. So fear, I like to make a lot of things into acronyms. So I made fear, instead of afraid, it's like fear, face everything and rise. And that was my theme for 2025. Facing everything and rising. And that is what I am doing. I was like, I'm not going to wait until 2026 to start fearing these things or to start facing these things. I'm going to go ahead and start right now. And that's what I did with having my first Stroke Talks event. And y'all, let me tell you about the gentleman that joined me today. His name is Alex. Yes, Alex, I'm giving you a shout out. Alex doesn't know that I'm giving him a shout out, but Alex, he is the owner of Words of Veterans. And I met Alex here in Virginia. I returned from Bahrain in May. I think I went to Veterans Growing America. That's in Woodbridge, Virginia. No, I didn't meet him at a networking event. I went to a networking event. I think I saw Alex there, but I didn't really say anything to him. But I went for a brunch that Veterans of Growing America was hosting, and ended up sitting at the table with Alex, and we were just chatting, just been chatty, right? Because I have the gift of gab. As a matter of fact, when I had my stroke, I was talking. I was running my mouth, and when my speech began to slur, that was the first sign to everyone who was at that party that something wasn't quite right. Like, speech slurring is a sign of a stroke. So I joke about it. I joke that my gift of gab saved my life. But anywho, so Alex joined me today for Stroke Talks. And in the registration, I did say that there would be a giveaway because it was a Christmas hangout, right? So the whole point of today's stroke talk was to bring stroke survivors, family members, friends, those who wanted to just understand and hear real everyday conversation about stroke, not medical information, but hear from stroke survivors themselves, share their stories, and have an opportunity to ask questions. I did say that it was our holiday hangout, and Mamas and Coffee was going to be giving away an Amazon gift card. And I forgot to mention that to Alex before we got off the call. So, Alex, I'm going to reach out to you to confirm your email address and send you your Amazon gift card. I'm a lady of my word. but yeah, but Stroke Talks, it was a great conversation. We just chatted, open conversation, and it was great. And my purpose behind Stroke Talks, not only because I am a stroke survivor myself, but I also know firsthand that we need a place, a safe place to just come together and talk, share stories, ask one another questions, have that peer-to-peer support. As much as I know that my family loves me, I also know that my family does not fully understand certain things that I am going through or how I'm feeling in certain situations. And not to say that just because you're a fellow stroke survivor that you're going to fully understand or that your situation was the same, because everyone's stroke is different, right? But there is some level of understanding. It just is. And we need that support, that peer-to-peer support. Stroke Talks is not here to replace your neurologist. We're not here to replace your physical therapist, your occupational therapist, did I say speech therapist? Speech, physical, or occupational therapist, nor your mental health therapist. But I will say this. I think the biggest gap when it comes to support within the stroke community is the mental health aspect of it. That this is just my thoughts, just my opinions. I started speech therapy while I was still in the hospital. All right, like I was in ICU, I was on the stroke unit. They started speech therapy. I continued speech therapy, outpatient, physical therapy, occupational therapy. There was some mention of mental health. So either I don't recall I don't recall it being mandatory, or maybe it was been trying to guide me to seek that mental health therapy, but I was being hard-headed saying I got it, I'm fine, right? I'm okay. I look good, I sound good now. Like, I did have the full facial droop. I had the slurred speech. I still, to this day, when I speak, I still hear a slur when I speak. There's oftentimes still, to me, a delay in my processing of what someone is talking to me about and what I am talking to them about, right? But all of that, if I'm honest with you, all of that took a toll on me mentally. There were certain behaviors that I began exhibiting that my family noticed, and they were like, "Hey, you need you need to seek some help," right? And I didn't want to do that at first. I did not. But I did. I followed through with it. I didn't always go willingly. I did go often kicking and screaming, but what I found to be the most helpful was just being able to talk about my stroke to, yes, to a therapist, but also to other stroke survivors. Now, this is going to sound crazy to some of you, and maybe some of you will understand me, right? Because it's not just stroke, it's really anything that you're dealing with in life. But I find myself getting excited when I'm out and I meet another stroke survivor. I get excited. Sounds crazy, but I'm excited because I'm like, okay, you know what? I can have this conversation. I can ask this individual about their stroke. Like, hey, um, you know what? What was the cause of your stroke? Oh, how are you feeling now? How are you? Oh, oh, that you. Oh, you telling me that you don't have complete feeling on your left side or right side of your body either? Okay, because I'm looking at them like there. I have met some people that looking at them, I would never know they had a stroke. Never. There were no indicators, and that's the same that people tell me. Oh, Sybil, I would never know that. And there have been times I've been mad. I have gotten mad when someone says that to me, right? Like, it sounds crazy, but I'm like, oh, because there have been times, especially in the beginning when I was really self-conscious about my speech. I was like, I just wish, again, this may sound crazy to some of you, but there was about a year, I would say probably that first year, I was like, no, I wish I did have a slur. I wish other people did hear my slur when I spoke. Right? Because I was like, maybe if other people hear it, I won't I won't feel as self-conscious because I was feeling self-conscious. So I'm like, okay, maybe because I'm hearing it, but I'm like, okay, my family, and this was something else I used to think, oh, my family's telling me they don't hear it, but they're just telling me that because they they want they don't want me to be self-conscious. But I was like, okay, just if you hear it, tell me. Cause that will just ease my nerves because I was y'all, I was like bugging out. Like I wouldn't even say deep down inside. People told me like, "Oh, no, no, no. We couldn't tell that you were anxious or nervous or uncomfortable." But I'm like, I just wish you could see that I was literally bugging out, right? But then there's also times of complete confusion. I think back, this was so I couldn't drive for the first 6 months. And then once I wanted my freedom to drive, which was totally insane. Right. I'm like, okay, yes, I can drive, but I couldn't drive. I could drive. Like I was cleared to drive. But yo, the road the road was moving. I was like, I don't think the road should be moving like this. Like, what is going on? Like, movement and speed was crazy. It was like I had to retrain my brain to accept the movement. But talking about confusion, I remember one day, it wasn't my first time going to the grocery store by myself, but it was I'd gone several times. It was near my house in San Diego because we had moved to San Diego at this point. I was in the store and I'm going down one way in the aisle. This man was coming up the other. All right. No big deal, right? Okay. Somebody has to move out the way. And yes, everybody does the little buggy dance, cart dance, whatever you want to call it, to get out the way. But no, people, I could not. Again, I can laugh about it now, but at that time, it wasn't funny to me. I could not process how to get out of the freaking way. Like it was a complete struggle. I was like, Sybil, what are you doing? I laughed it off, but I felt like my my confidence was crushed, right? And then I think too that's when I realized like something like the Sybil, the sharp, um, witty Sybil that everyone knew or that who I knew. I was like, she's in there, she's there, but she just having some difficulties right now. So what did I do? I began staying at home because I was uncomfortable with going out. Like it was literally like simple things of get out the way. Simple things of okay, we got to check out. Oh, there's too many people. I remember going to the grocery store. This was around the holidays, my first year of my stroke. Um, Going to the grocery store and just been completely overwhelmed in the grocery store because it was around Christmas. Everyone's in there shopping. It was weird for me because I'm like, okay, crowds never bothered me. Loud noises never bothered me. But I was just a nervous wreck and just frozen in this grocery store. And I was like, this is all weird. And during that time, I wanted someone to talk to. I was looking for a fellow stroke warrior to talk to. Like, hey, I didn't need medical advice. I just needed to hear someone else tell me, yeah, Sybil, this this has happened to me too. Yeah, yeah. I feel you. You good? You all right? It's normal. You'll be all right. At that time, I didn't have that. I had met a few other stroke survivors online just through different Facebook groups, right? But I didn't have anyone that I could say, "Hey, we're going to hop on this call and we can talk." I was attending one group like that for a little bit of time, but then I don't know what happened. I don't know if just the times didn't work out for me anymore. I don't know what it was. So I'm not even going to try to figure it out. But so over the last few years, this is something that I've been wanting to do, but I was afraid to do it. I was like, I don't really like I know how to get it started, but I was afraid to get it started. So it was something I said I wanted to do for 2026, but I was like, why wait till 2026? Go ahead, put it out there, start it this year. And so today was my very first stroke talks virtual meetup. I want to do them at least once a year, starting in January, maybe twice or once a year. Oh, Lord Jesus, once a month, starting in January. Potentially move to twice a month. I would love to have them weekly. I can get enough people to sign up and do it. It's great. It's just an opportunity, 1 hour. You come in and we just talk. Like you can share your story, you can ask questions, you can ask me a question, you can ask another stroke survivor a question. If you're not a stroke survivor, you're a caregiver, family member, friend, just someone who is curious to know what is going on behind the scenes, right? Behind the scenes. Come in and ask. Maybe you're a caregiver, a family member, or a friend, and your loved one has had a stroke, and you're trying to understand what they're going through, or you may think that they are being dramatic or lazy. Because again, there is this misconception. If you don't look like you've had a stroke, if you don't have any of the visible signs of a stroke, meaning a facial droop, or you have, I call it the stroke walk. You have a gait. Your gait is a little off. People dismiss that you haven't had a stroke. I had a severe stroke. It wasn't health related. It was a rare cause, carotid webbing. And, I tell people that a stroke is a brain attack. It's not it doesn't necessarily, for some people, it does leave a facial droop. For some people, you can tell by looking at them. But I tell people all the time, like, I do not have complete feeling to the left side of my body. I move my left hand perfectly fine. I pick things up. I used to not hold on to things well after my stroke. It has gotten better, but there are some days that I have no grip, right? Like some days it's just not there. Hot and cold sensations. Ugh. I did have to retrain myself not to automatically grab things with my left hand first, right? Because I would pick up a hot plate, right? Like the fajita plates, I would pick it up. I wouldn't feel it. I have put my hands under hot water. Okay, Sybil, you testing the water for your shower? Yeah, you need to use your right hand because your left hand didn't feel it. Your left side of your body didn't feel it. But as soon as it touched that right side, this is hot, right? And I'm talking about scalding hot. So there is some danger there with that. So those are all the things that, behind the scenes you don't recognize. Even when I talk about the mental health, when I talk about the emotional, like I will tell you sometimes I joke about it. It's not funny, but if you know me, even if you don't know me, you stick around and get to know me. I like to find the joy in every situation. But people are like, oh, you're an emotional roller coaster. Yeah, you don't really know who you getting today. I've been asked the question, do you think you're going through menopause? And I'm like, I don't know. All of these things started happening to me after my stroke. And it'll be 5 years on April 17th, which, by the way, April 17th, I am having a stroke anniversary party. My husband said he would throw one for me, but I'm going to hold him to it. I'm inviting everybody right now. We're going to have a 5-year stroke anniversary party. Why 5 years? It's because the chances of having a second stroke are highest within those first 5 years. Now, again, my stroke wasn't due to health. It was, a fluke, carotid webbing. I now do have a stent here. But I was like, I want to celebrate. I want to celebrate. And I want to do it at the location that my stroke happened. My stroke happened here in Northern Virginia at a brewery. So I'm like, I want to go back to that brewery. I want to sit at that table. I don't remember too much about that evening. But I'm like, I want to do it. That's where I want to do it. I need to face it. I need to face that fear. I will admit this, y'all. Since we've been back here in Northern Virginia, I have refused to go to that area. I went and had lunch. It happened in Fairfax, Virginia. I did meet a friend for lunch in Fairfax last week. And I was this close to canceling on her. But I was like, no, Sybil, you want to go. Now, my eldest daughter is here from college, so she went to lunch with me. But I was like, oh, just that area. I will admit, I'm a little hesitant. But I got to face that fear, right? Because 2026, I'm fearing. Or 2025, I'm fearing. Face everything and rise. 2026, I'm answering the question, now what? So the now what is, Sybil, get your butt to the location where it happened and fully face that fear. Sit your butt down at that picnic table. Take it all in. You're all right. You good. But anywho, I'm going to add this right here real quick. If you want to support Stroke Talks, because Stroke Talks is operating fully on supportations through Buy Me a Coffee and through any sponsors who want to come on and sponsor this community. Okay, because I want to have a space for real, open, honest conversations. Let me hold on. I'm trying to make sure that I put the comment up there that you could, yeah, for the Buy Me a Coffee. I want people to have a safe space that they can come and just talk freely. Right? No, unscripted. It's not recorded. It's not streamed live. It's none of that. It's closed behind the scenes. I want to keep it intimate. 20 people or so we can come and everyone has an opportunity to talk, ask their questions, share, a bit of their story. Some weeks we will have, or months we will have, it might be a conversation about your recovery journey. Okay, that's what we're going to talk about. Everybody's recovery journey. We might talk about, the cause of your stroke. And some months will just be open flow, open topics. Because again, as I said before, one thing that I was missing within the first year of my stroke was just having that community of other stroke survivors who understood how I was feeling. Family and friends, they were there. They listened to me. A couple of my friends, unfortunately, had to listen to me every day. So I would just talk to them every day. We talked via Voxer. I would tell them how I was feeling. I would cry. I would cuss. That was the other thing, right? There were times that I would talk to people, and because I would cuss, because I was angry. I was angry. I was angry. I was scared. And, and I remember one of the comments from someone saying, all of that is unnecessary. Okay, fair enough. To you, it was unnecessary. But for me at the time, I was angry. Like, why did this happen to me? How did this happen to me? I did everything I was supposed to do, right? I was eating healthy. I was exercising. I was doing everything right. Blood pressure perfect, cholesterol perfect. Like, there was nothing. Lifestyle choices, there was none. Low to no stress. I was like, why did this happen to me? So there were days that I was a bit uncivil, SYBIL, not civil as in my name, right? Because everyone was and is used to seeing me happy-go-lucky and bubbly. And that was still me, but there was a point where I was hurt. There was a point where I was scared. There was a point, I remember I was just looking for an outlet to talk to someone else who could fully relate to me or somewhat relate to me. I remember when I started going to therapy, because I did, my very first therapist, her response to me was, oh, well, I see you're a military spouse. So yeah, it's difficult with moving all the time. And I was like, this has nothing to do with me being a military spouse and moving all the time. Right? Because she saw what she saw was my insurance. And I was like, yeah, I'm not here because I'm struggling with moving. I'm coming to you because I am struggling with the fact that I had a stroke. Like, that's where the problem is. And I did fire her. I did. I did a couple of sessions with her, and She wasn't listening. She was not listening to me. So I was like, all right, let me find somebody else. And I did. But my whole point being, because I'm rambling, and me rambling has nothing to do with the stroke either. I've always been a rambler, which is, what makes Mamas and Coffee what it is. Right? We're just sitting here at the coffee table on the couch, just having conversation like you have with your friends. Now, how many of you have conversations with your friends and y'all start out talking about taking your kid to school, and 6 minutes into that discussion you have veered way off into to talking about going shopping for some shoes? Then you veered back to, okay, that's what we do at Mamas and Coffee. And oh, by the way, let me tell y'all this real quick, because this is something else that is happening in 2026. So I told you about Stroke Talks being a community within Mamas and Coffee. Millspots Conversations is moving under Mamas and Coffee as a community. Now, Millspots Conversations was my legal business name for the past couple of years. However, in 2026, Mamas and Coffee will be my legal business name. Who is entering my house? Someone just entered my home. Okay, anywho. So yeah, Mamas and Coffee. Some of you may know me from Mamas and Coffee because I'm streaming on Mamas and Coffee and MomJonz and on my personal page as well. But some of you probably know me as MomJonz here on Facebook for many, many years, or even if you've met me in person, you know me as MomJonz. Behind the Facebook group Mamas and Coffee, behind the website Mamas and Coffee. But Mamas and Coffee has always been a passion project of mine. Well, in 2026, I am making Mamas and Coffee official. Millspots Conversations, if you were following me over there, we talked about life. Myself and my co-host Grace, we talked about life, everything. It had a lot of Mamas and Coffee flair. And it's something I've thought about for a couple of years now. I'm like, wait a minute, why are you running two different websites? And they're doing very similar things. And under Millspots Conversations, because we talked about life, we talked about everything. We hosted events talking about a variety of things, but people kept thinking, oh, it's for military. It's military only. I'm like, no, we talk about everything. We're military spouses talking about life. So what I decided to do for 2026 is make Millspots Conversations a community under Mamas and Coffee and talk specifically about military life within the Millspots Conversations community. Okay, so let me just wrap up with this real quick so you can understand. So you're going to have Mamas and Coffee. And Mamas and Coffee is for all women. Okay? Like all women. You don't have to be a mama because we ain't just talking about motherhood. Okay, we talk about life. And Mamas and Coffee is all about empowering you to know, be, and love who you are. Right? It's empowering women one sip at a time. The sip being conversation. So you have Mamas and Coffee. Under Mamas and Coffee, you have Stroke Talks community where we talk everything about stroke. It's all stroke. Then under that, you have Millspots Conversations community. All things military life. But it's real. I don't have a pamphlet for you. It's, hey, let's talk about military life. Oh, you considering moving your kid their senior year of high school? You're unsure what you want to do? Oh, got you. I moved all three of ours. Yes. And no, we don't have triplets. We just have 3 kids, 2 years apart in age. And yes, We packed all 3 of them and moved them their senior year of high school. Yes, we did. I'll tell you all about it. We're down to our last. Our youngest is a senior this year. So we did go from Northern Virginia to San Diego, the first one. Second one from San Diego to Bahrain. The third from Bahrain to Northern Virginia. And we're here to talk about it. You want to talk about, all the things, all the thoughts that you have as a military spouse? Okay, yeah. We can do that too. So, but mamas and coffee. Overall, broad umbrella, we're talking about life. A little bit of everything. And we're real. Then we have a specialty, stroke. Then another specialty, mil spouse. But overall, we're everyday people. And with Stroke Talks, men can join us at Stroke Talks, as Alex did today. And Alex is getting that $25 Amazon gift card. Mil Spouse Conversations, men can join us there too. And you don't have to be a military spouse to join in the conversations at Mil Spouse Conversations. Just like you don't have to be a stroke survivor to join in the conversations at Stroke Talks. But Mamas and Coffee, you come in, we're going to talk about everything. Everything. Parenting, tips, hacks, self-esteem, self-love, a little bit everything. Everything. Any and everything. Everything. Ain't nothing off the table at Mamas and Coffee. Just saying, you take that as you please. All right, folks. I'm gonna get off here and see who just walked into my house. It was some man. Some man just walked in my house. He didn't even come in and speak. Didn't speak at all. But no. But for real, if you would like to support Stroke Talks, I dropped that Buy Me a Coffee link in right there. So go ahead. $5. You can buy Stroke Talks $5. It helps us promote what we're doing, and it helps cover expenses for the virtual events, as well as, buy coffee for the in-person events. The Stroke Talks is a community under Mamas and Coffee. So if you would like to support Mamas and Coffee, just overall Mamas and Coffee, you can support us right there. But Stroke Talks, all the virtual events for Stroke Talks are free. All right. Have a good day. Remember, know you, be you, and love you. You can buy this mug too if you would like. Yeah, let me go ahead and let you know where you can buy that. There you go. Buy yourself